Welcome back to Valvetronic Designs. Today we're going to show you guys a very fun modification for these G80 M3s. It's become commonplace now that the factory valve motors on the car do not open 100%. These G80s, other BMW models, Mercedes, Audis, Porsches, they don't open 100% unless you are above 5,000 RPM or you are full throttle. And of course, if you're looking to experience those pops and cracks down low and have an enjoyable sound experience, you want to have those valves fully open at your command. The valve button in the car does not operate them 100%. But on the stack of boxes over here, we've got something that definitely does the trick. On the table here, we have our electronic valve harness. It comes with 2 exhaust motors. If you only select one, it only comes with one. 2 valve wires, remote, the control brains, like this brain, and then a power wire to connect it to your cigarette lighter, or this can be cut and you can hardwire it, just power and ground inside of this. So I'm going to show you guys the biggest reason why people do this modification, and we'll show you the step-by-step process of how to put it in. And it's a pretty economical mod, but definitely gives you some great sound. Whether you just want to add this for a couple $100s on your stock exhaust to give a little bit more free-flowing experience, or you want to combine this with some downpipes and keep your stock rear section, you're able to do that. In the Valvetronic design system, this comes in the kit for free. So if you're looking to upgrade your rear section axle back later, you don't actually need this because it comes for free in the kit that you buy. A lot of other systems, they just come with the exhaust system and none of this hardware. But at Valvetronic Designs, you do get it all. But if you decide you want to keep your stock rear section, like this car has right here, you can upgrade the valve hardware to have 100% controlled, 100% open, or 100% closed, whenever you like. Let's show you guys the main reason why people do this modification. The problem is you'll see there the valve motor is closed right now. It's a little bit hard to see, but we'll show you guys the problem. Closing the valve, you can see that when I reopen them, it's not opening 100%. It's just opening about 15%. If I hit the car some revs, that the car is not fully opening the valves. Obviously this car does sound relatively spectacular because it has our equal length mid pipe and some free flow down pipes on there. But with this controller harness, we're going to show you guys how to take all the factory hardware off with the new Valvetronic Designs electronic valve harness onto the stock exhaust rear section and give you guys 100% control of your OEM exhaust. Let's do it up. So the steps are as follows to swap the valve motors out. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove the valve motors themselves, and then up here there's a lot of room in the heat shields. We're going to remove this, or we're going to keep it plugged in and lock it in position up high with some zip ties in the heat shields. The reason why is if you don't do that, you will get a check engine light, and obviously we don't want that. So we're going to keep these plugged in, but we're going to remove them from the factory system. We're then going to put our new motors on, lock those into place with 3 bolts. From there, we're going to bring the car down. We're going to set up the electronic control box, plug it into power in the cigarette lighter that's in the rear. We'll also show you guys if you wanted to hardwire it, how you would do so. We're going to run the wires down through the battery tray, which is on this side. We're going to run the wires down here, and then we're going to send the other wire across to the other side to connect to this valve motor, plug everything in, and then we're going to have 100% control of our valves. Let's do step 1. If you have a spare $200, buy this just because it's the greatest thing of all time. You might not use it, but it's just amazing. I love it. So up here, the beginning of all good things in life does begin with zip ties. What we're doing is our goal here is we're just trying to get the actuator out of the way and locked down in a position where it's not going to rattle around and move in this other area. So right now it's locked in place. It's not going to move up here behind this tray. So it's locked in there. We've got a zip tie here so that the car thinks it's still plugged in, but we're going to use our new motors to have more controllability. We've done the same thing on the other side. It's just tucked up there, zip tied together. There's a couple different spots you can put it. We normally just tuck them behind this heat shield here, and the same on the other side, but they're locked in there. They're not going to move, and also they're out of the way, so you won't have a check engine light, but they're not in the way of anything. Now we have the new valve motors that we are installing. It is important to note that you may need to cycle the valve motors or mess with the valves by hand just to put them in the right position to get them to lock down fully. The Valvetronic Design's exhaust valves are smart enough that will learn the open and closed positions of your factory exhaust, but you just need to mess with them a little bit to get it to lock in like this is so. Put the bolts in, and then the system will operate properly once you finish putting the rest of the electronics together. Now that you have your valve motors installed on the factory exhaust system, or your aftermarket system if you so choose, right here is the area we're going to be working with. Got a cigarette lighter here, which is perfect for just plugging the exhaust module into. And then there's a fuse panel right here where you have access to all your fuses. But underneath this is a bumper vent, whether you have a universal kit or this G80. Every car has little vents. Come to this side. Every car has vents to where when you close the door, it releases the negative pressure so the windows don't blow out, because that would be annoying. Under the taillight around this area, there's a vent. So we're going to put the exhaust lines through here, and then we can access under here, pulling the exhaust lines out, plug it in, and then we're done. Super easy. So this part may seem like the most complicated, but it's actually quite simple. With your valve wires, these are the pins that go to the actuators. This is how you run them. In this tray, the box is going to sit here. So run this underneath, little wall here. You put your hand where the fuses are, and you'll be able to pull this out like such. You can see it here. And then underneath the fuse box, you're going to feel for that bumper vent. It's right there. We're going to take our plug and we're going to push it through so it goes from the interior of the vehicle to the exterior. Push it through. Need a little bit of pushing, and then it's in. You can see I'm just feeding the wire down. Very simple, very easy. So we're going to do this twice for both valve motors. And this install process is very, very simple. So if you're looking for a little bit of extra sound, it's definitely a good way to do it. If you've got a mid-pipe configuration already, you want that 100% control, this is how you do it. So that's one. We got one in there. Now we're going to take the next wire, same thing, run it underneath. Pull up a little bit. Lines here. And then, simple enough, run it through the same spot that we ran the first wire. So now that we pushed everything through those bumper vents, it's all hiding in this area. So we're going to loosen these. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we can reverse 3, whoops, losing stuff, and 4, 5, there's one more, I missed it, good thing I'm not a brain surgeon, and then this whole area will be able to come out a little bit, and then this tray will move as well, to where we can get our hand up in this area, and pull those lines right out. Okay, look what I found. Amazing. So that was super easy. We've got the actuators right here, the lines. I'm going to push these from under the black plastic heat shield out around the other side, and then pull them through with my other hand. So we're almost have our perfect length here. Just going to grab a little bit more line. And now, this is enough distance. Plug it in, press, and lock it down. Now this one, we're going to run all the way along this heat shield up here to the other valve. Go down, get some extra length. Almost there. Just threading this line across underneath this heat shield. It's out of the way, it's not going to get burnt. And that's it. Boom, plugged in, locked in place. So now, last steps, just bend the heat shield back into place where it was. And we're going to put all these bolts back, plug the module in, and that's it. It's that easy. So depending on your preference, now that we have everything locked in here, these lines, you can either have them just tucked up here, you can pull them all through, which is what I'm going to do. Just leave some slack here. all these can just be kind of coiled and then put back in this area behind this tray where the rest of the fuse box and all the wiring goes. This can all just live back there. And then here, we're going to go take some double-sided tape, mount this right here, and then we're done. Plug in one, plug in valve number 2. Those are in good shape. Take the box and we'll just set it. Valvetronic Designs boxes, they look pretty cool, so customer wants it to be visible, so we'll hide it right there. Why isn't it sticking? Oh, it's just easy to see. And then here, put the power wire in. You hear it beep there because that means it is connected, which is what we want to hear. And the rest of this line can just live down there, or if you want to recoil it, you can. Whatever you decide. We'll put the antenna on as well. Make sure you've got all the range. You could be about 400 miles away and actuate the valves. I'm joking, that's not me being serious. Last step is going to be testing to make sure that your valves work. We're going to put the cover back on the fuse panel here. Now everything's installed. Factory rear section, Valvetronic valves, the way to do it. Spectacular because it has our equal length mid pipe, which is the mod of choice. But if you're looking for the ultimate experience, having the control of your factory valves definitely gives you an extra 10 to 15% of extra volume and that flexibility whenever you choose. Additionally, below in the description, you'll find where you can sync your Valvetronic Designs remote to your homelink garage door buttons inside the car. Click the link below to check out that video. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Now get out there, drive and enjoy your G80 or other vehicle with full control of your exhaust valves. See you in the next one.